like to see some more armor penetration on Genja's take. We're at 45 minutes into the game. We have no last whisper secured. If you look at all of the armor on the side of the Wolves, you've got an Hourglass on Gunbuck, you've got a Sunfire Cape on Amazing, an Hourglass on Kautarg. There's a lot of armor to burn through if you are playing Caitlyn. It's going to increase all of your damage, especially on Caitlyn, who is so auto-attack reliant. So I'm hoping he's saving money, going to sell that Dawn Blade, that item on December, but we'll need to see what he picks up in the next weeks.
А что ты включил? Я не могу понять, кого. А что ты включил?
Because there is an inhibitor turret that he's pushing towards. With the Baron spawning now, he is all alone, and remember, nobody has teleport on Gambit.
So if Gambit decides to go for that same prolonged
У тебя нету потери кадра.
allow themselves to
Это
take
easy.
some poke and some damage from Copenhagen Wolves, when they start to run away, we could see the same thing. There's a teleport from Youngbuck. Gambit appeal.
They're going to peel on, and limited solar flare.
Ну, лежит в ночь, и Нет напрягается. Все классно.
Come straight out of that one and go down instantaneously. He will drop. Darian taking low in the back. It's a double for Alex Inch, and look at that. Eddie flying in towards Amazing. Kautarg taking low. The Cully being used. He's trying to catch on towards Alex. Alex taking low. Genja's Guardian Angels pops. He's going to come back in there. Kautarg's going to pounce straight on towards it with the Force Pulse and Rip Walk. Darian taking low. Exhaust comes in. Amazing pounces on him. Gets a double kill for Kautarg. And just like that, the Copenhagen Wolves bully them off the Baron.
Yeah, 2 for 3 at the end of the day, and this is going to allow Copenhagen Wolves to get the Baron secured. The front line of Gambit held up for a moment
Ну,
or
Антон
two,
отлетает.
but it wasn't enough.
И потом рассказывает, что он никуда не отлетает. Антон, так, я здесь можно зарепортить в скайпе? Не отлетал он. О, сейчас пошла жара. Мне почему-то кажется, что у меня не такой прицел.
Доигрался, блядь.
Уже там на базе, типа, аккуратно. Хорош. Там за машиной. Это, кстати, этот. Это MVP.
So, a little unfortunate for Youngbuck as well, because he teleported in straight on top of a Mega Inferno Pump. Never really what you want there. Darian's going down with that double kill. All very simple stuff. So, once again, Baron is on the Copenhagen Wolves. They also picked up on the Dragon off the back of that one. The first Dragon of the game for the Copenhagen Wolves. And the switch to gold lead into their favour now by around gold.
Charles, guys, Charles.
Forward for a while. We were expecting this game to go on, but it now takes
Two shots.
the next big fight, I feel, could well be a game changer.
Neither of these teams was victorious in that situation. Death Sentence once again, we did see Genja picking up that last whisper, which I'm very happy to see. It is the way we'll say it.
Вон же справа.
Wolves have got more
Или что? Справа был еще один тип за ящиком сразу? Вот здесь.
They're getting through the Renekton and the Volibear, and once they've gotten through Renekton and Volibear, every time Gambit has started to meet them, that's when the Copenhagen Wolves have managed to pick up the wins and managed to pick up those team fight victories. So let's see if they can work it out. Now Copenhagen Wolves have got the hardest job of getting towers down from an Alex Sitch on Ziggs and secure the first one.
Down, that's the thing. They're strong enough that they
I'm
can
also
and take a couple of those tower hits unless Gambit are fully committed. They do actually lack a fair chunk of damage, really. It's only Alex and Genja that are pointing out. They're not going to get a great deal coming out from Volibear. Volibear trying to flip out Youngbuck there, but quickly Sanguine pulls away. The Culling being used. Genja taking a big chunk of that one. He's going to have to go back to the fountain, or he's going to try and lifesteal his way back into this one. There's going to be a hook on Amazing. He gets quickly pulled straight back in. He does get taken down on that Guardian Angel. Diamond tries to get back around him. He wants to flip it straight out there. Mega Inferno Bomb came a little too early, but Amazing does go goes down, there's going to be
Чем?
another death sentence flung
Я не
out.
знаю, да, вроде? Амбиты что-то же играют.
That is the problem. Because of that wave clear and the power of death sentence in that situation, when you are defending a siege and it's easier to line up, Mason
ITS
gets
reaching
hooked, he
playoffs,
gets dropped,
semi-final.
and all of a sudden Copenhagen Wolves are unable to take advantage of that Baron buff. Gambit are going to be able to score themselves another 45 seconds. It's going to burn through a big chunk of this Baron buff. Actually, all of the Baron buff. by
Так,
the looks of
гамбиты
things.
против
That's a very good
Копенгаген
position.
Wolves. Причем хуй знает, кто выиграет. Но мне нравится, как Владимир из Копенгагена переформил 2 раза.
До арены?
423 на 286.
Все, это слонобой, ребят.
Everybody's also starting to stack out the Guardian Angels. We already saw it on Genja. That one got reset. We saw Amazing's getting reset, but we've also got one out
Главное,
on
что
Diamond.
с раунд
Everybody's
слоном.
moving back towards it. We're going to have some really elongated fights.
So Darien has had this sight stone for a little while now. He has been placing some of those wards down. Garen's composition is so good at sieging.
Так, все стреляет.
Now, of course, you can't discount the fact that Copenhagen will
Валю.
create on them. You know, if they group up in a tower and they do get caught by standing by a hemoplague or
Ретард на Касадине.
yes, that can be a terrible situation to be in.
Это...
But Gambit never really made
Retard?
that sort of
Мгм.
aggressive map.
Это кто такой?
That top and bottom inner turret
Ник
have been
такой,
standing
ретард.
for
Там такого нету, пацаны.
Есть.
Gambit hasn't gotten near them, hasn't made it onto them. Gambit seems to be trying to force plays around the Baron pit and making Copenhagen Wolves come to them. If the Wolves can do that and
Ну, пацанов Уэйт лучше.
you know, predict it,
Там на
they
Б
can-
залетели,
О,
пацаны.
Даймонд отсосал.
Position and in trouble. He does manage to get away. Remember, he gets that regen. Edward taking low. Hemoplague will be enough to take him down. Diamond goes back in towards
Пришлось
him.
пацану
They're gonna go
соло
towards
всех
the limited.
разводить.
Countdown's gonna be the next focus, but he just turns back on towards Alexich. Puts so much damage down. The exhaust has to be used out there. And Limited's been picked off. The Ultimate takes down Genja. That's the AD carry down. And now Diamond. Alex is the only man putting damage down. Darien tries to run through that satchel charge. Diamond's gonna go down, but Gibbon takes him down. And just like that, Gambit drop all
Отсосали
across the map.
гамбиты.
Alexich is gonna be the final man. Sonny's now
Что-то злорадствуешь, что он болеет за них.
Alexich has to try and take him down. Too early, one more hit. No, Sonya's hourglass is there. It's the ace for the Copenhagen Wolves.
Отсосали.
That was a convincing fight.
Ладно, всё, спокойной ночи.
Juggle the tower aggro, but they just don't have the HP pools to make this one work. There's a minion wave, Conga lining down behind them. This should be an inhibitor, maybe the game. They've got so much damage and so much time to work with. Forgive it, just melts that minion wave.
He's had the cooling available. He's come back up off cooldown. That's how long that fight lasted. All members of the Copenhagen Wolves are going to run on through. It's a 10-second death timer on Edward. He's not going to be able to do a lot to stop this one because the Nexus turrets are falling fast. And game number 1 goes to the Copenhagen Wolves. They are one match away from sending Gambit to the relegation zone. I cannot believe this. This is crazy, crazy stuff. But you've got to give credit to the Copenhagen Wolves. They deserve that victory.
They really did. They never felt... You never felt like they were a threat against that pressure that Gambit got a small lead during the laning phase, but they never transitioned to siege. They never transitioned to try and push towers down, push and rotate. I have to call Volibear out today. I'm not sold on the pick. I'm not convinced that it worked out. I don't see what it was going to do. Volibear was the last champion locked in. After Kha'Zix, after Vladimir, after Lucian. And they all had abilities to deal with that Rolling Thunder, to deal with the fling. So, I don't know. Had maybe Gambit started sieging up earlier, and had they put themselves in a position where if Wolves had engaged and you could fling somebody back and then kill them quickly, yes, maybe. But it never happened. So,
And they were lacking damage. That was the main thing. They were lacking the damage. The moment they were just easy. They just focused on Genja. Everybody piled on Genja. Take him down. Take him out of there. Deal with Alexich. And what have you got left? You've got 2 big tanks. Well, you're not too worried about them. Your AD carry will deal with them at this stage.
so I have to admit as well, the playstyle that the Copenhagen Wolves also put with was very safe. They only picked fights after objectives had either been secured or been contested. I mean, they picked fights to Dragon. Gambit got Dragon, Copenhagen Wolves 1 fight. Gambit looked at Baron, Copenhagen Wolves 1 fight. Gambit went back to Baron, Copenhagen Wolves 1 fight. Like, I Copenhagen Wolves played very passive. And when you've got champions that can jump in there, and Leona in particular, you never really felt that they were the ones super initiatory, super all in. But at the end of the day, they won the crucial fight in the game thanks to having a damage in that regard.
hold of the Baron every time. It was always Gambit that started off the Baron, but they always lost out the fight. They were the ones initiating, they were the ones that started. They were always the ones that lost out.
Yeah, I think the Gambit need to play the map a little bit more. I really feel like they need to rotate from tower to tower. They got a lot of towers quite early on, and I started saying, oh, they're going to siege down, they're going to use the Zinch, use the Caitlyn. And they just didn't do it, they
Never
didn't
did,
go for it. Yeah, after that second, after the they didn't touch another tower for another 30, 35 minutes.
And you got to wonder, maybe they should have punched the bottom lane a little bit more. They had a PCS advantage very early on. They could have sent down the volley there, put the fear of life into them. Instead, every time he went down, they got spotted by the wards and then just backed away.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, 1-0 in favor of Wolves. The Kassadin play was pretty good. That was a full damage Kassadin. Death Cap, Archangels, Hourglass, Void Stuff. I mean, basically, by Kassadin. And you see, he did have the burst. You know, Kauton had the ability to blow people up, and he did a couple of times as they came on. So Kassadin maybe forgotten but not dead, I think is the way I'm going to say.
Not done just yet. We're going to, for now, check over at the analysis table.
Thank you very much, D-Man. Indeed, Gambit not starting out great here in this series versus the Copenhagen Wolves. Kevin, what do you make of the picks? We saw the Kassadin coming in once again. Yesterday it was on Gambit's side, now on Copenhagen Wolves' side. What of an impression it left on you?
So yesterday we saw kind of tanky build of the Kassadin. This game we saw kind of glass cannon Kassadin, which I like personally more. I think it benefits the team way more if he's a damage dealer than a tank. So this Kassadin pick was alright, and they used it in the early. So yeah, great use of a Kassadin.
Do you think it's still as strong as it was? Obviously it's had that rework, but where do you rank it compared to the old Kassadin?
Let's go.
Oh, so old Kassadin was a 10, and this Kassadin is kind of a 4 or 5. So you can use it only in really special cases.
So your team obviously needs to do very good as well. Let's talk about the other lanes. The top lane, Renekton versus Vladimir. We know how much Youngbuck loves Vladimir, but actually Darian was doing pretty well. Tell us a little bit about how that matchup scales up as you go further in the game.
So normally early is kind of Renekton because you can bully, and Vladimir has still really big cooldowns. After level 9 it gets a bit harder for Renekton because he doesn't have too much. Cooldowns from Vladimir are really low, so he can just poke. Sorry, the smart build and wait for the Blade of the Ruined King with the Spirit Visage, I think it was. So this build is really good against the Vladimir, and as we saw, he could have actually killed him twice, I think, but he didn't use the Ignite. Don't know why, but he could have went way more ballsy, Darian's. But Vladimir did use the split push he had, and so yeah, the worst case.
What about Volibear? Because that's the first time we see this split. Obviously it was Diamond who last year brought Volibear into the LCS. What were your thoughts on him, and how does he fit into the meta right now, and how strong is he?
So Volibear, I see him a lot, so he was pretty new to me as well, but it seemed strong. If he could have been more in a skirmish or in a fight earlier in the game, I think they could have put a bigger lead. I think he did great damage if he was in the fight, but versus such a comp the Copenhagen Wolves had, with the Q, everyone had kind of escaped the pool or the Rift Walk or something, so maybe not the smartest pick, but yeah, overall I think Volibear is still viable.
So about the game itself then, we heard Quickshot actually saying they got into positions, Gambit, where you thought, okay, they're going to siege now, they're going to try and take down some towers, but never really got to that stage. Do you think they could have done more at certain stages of that game where they were ahead?
So it's always hard to push against the Ziggs. It's really hard.
Wypierdalaj
He has
stąd,
so
kurwa,
many
grzecznie mówiąc.
abilities that can interrupt you, that can actually kill you even if you're out of position. So actually they tried like move the split push of Vladimir and then trying to gank him. Gambit really countered that really well with Volibear Edward going there. So I think they did everything right, and Gambit just countered it really well.
Let's look ahead then to game 2. When we talk about Gambit a lot, that one they suffer defeat, one day they come back. they come out swinging the next day, but then if I look at this match, they did fight really hard and they didn't make it. What do you think mindset?
So I think Gambit is always when they lose, they're really down. I feel like that. They really have to push them up to get after a lose really good again and motivated and to really want to win. But I think they know what's on the line, and I think
I
they
take
will
long,
shape up
guys.
and
One must go B. Who's running sound?
still after the lose.
Yeah, one important factor for Gambit here is the group their manager is here as well. I've seen him backstage, so if anyone can kind of pick Gambit up off the floor and get them going again, which they obviously need to do now, be 1-0 behind, then it's Groove is here, so that's a good thing for Gambit. We'll see in game 2 if they can do it.
Absolutely, we'll see what of an impact that will have. Of course, coming up next, the Copenhagen Wolves and Gambit will face off again in game 2 of their series. Don't touch that browser, we'll be back in a flash.
Diamond out of position and in trouble. He does manage to get away. Remember, he gets that regen. Edward taking a look. He was like moving up to take him down. Diamond comes back in towards him. They're going to get on towards the limited. Countdown's going to be the next focus, but he just turns back on towards Alex. Puts so much damage down. The exhaust has to be used out there. The limited's been picked off. Dilbert takes down. He carried down. And now Diamond. Alex is the only man putting damage down. Darren tries to run through that satchel charge. Diamond's going to go down. But Human takes him down. And just like that, Gambit drop all across the map. Alex is going to be the final man. Zolyan's Hourglass, Guardian Angel will come up here. Alex has to try. Zolyan's Hourglass is there. It's the ace for the Copenhagen Wolves.
I'm coming.
Counter-terrorists win.
Let's get this over with. Smoke! Grenade out!
Spokojnie, młody.
All clear. Laying down smoke. Fire in the hole. Grenade. Throwing a grenade. Deploying flashbang. Flashbang. Throwing flashbang.
Oh, shut. Blue door.
Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After that first match, the Copenhagen Wolves have moved one step closer to the LCS Summer Split, while Gambit, well, they are a single game away from the summer promotion. Who would have expected that at the start of the season? We'll find out how they respond in the second match of the series in just a moment, but we need to talk about that game because nearly everyone on Gambit is just underwhelming.
Yeah, you know, Alex had played Ziggs. He did a okay job, 6-3 and 7. I don't feel that his ultimates were particularly impactful, and I do feel that the strength of Ziggs in sieging was not made use of. I have spoken about that at length at the moment.
Can you take me a car?
He ran Cassidy in that game. That's a 4.5 Cassidy that went full damage. He went 8, 3, and 9. And more importantly, he came out of the laning phase, even on CS with Ziggs. He was completely unchallenged, and I don't know. We didn't watch the lane close enough to really call Alex out if he wasn't punishing or if Calvin was doing great, but you have to think there's elements of both as to why melee casting came out.
Let's get this done.
You know, you got to talk about the other lanes. The top lane, Darian put good pressure onto Youngbuck early on. That was the one lane we saw Diamond actually looking to gank and Forgiven. Well, he was immortal once again on Lucian. Didn't die and farmed. Despite being pressured early on, was 20 CS behind. He just kept at it.
Yeah, and more importantly, he was never correct. So he had 0 deaths because there was no damage that could get to him. By the time Renekton and Volibear had used their mobility to dive past the front line, there was too much damage on them and they couldn't do anything against Forgiven.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Picks and bans underway. Game 2 of the 5th place matchup. Winner, well, if it's Copenhagen Wolves, they will be into the Summer LCS. Gambit, they are facing the promotion series right now. Picks and bans. Nidalee being taken away, almost a standard as of late. Copenhagen Wolves taking that off, and the Jax ban coming in, taking it off Youngbuck.
So that's actually the first time that Nidalee has been banned on blue side today. All of the other bans, I believe, have been on red side, and they've been first picked on blue side, which we have seen a couple of times. So it's one of those things to note. Red side ban, and very interesting to see Copenhagen Wolves. They don't feel it's first pick worthy for their side.
Well, what's more interesting for me is that the Copenhagen Wolves have banned Aurelia. Maybe they didn't see Darian playing it yesterday because I'm not sure it was ban worthy. I've got to be honest.
Maybe. I can't really argue with you, I'm afraid. So Gambit need to decide what is going to be more important. They have banned out Yasuo and Karma in the previous game. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that again. Instead, they're going to force Forgiven onto a different AD carry. Now, Genja played Caitlyn in the previous game. If he can get his hands on Caitlyn in his first rotation, and they banned out Lucian, it means Forgiven needs to play something else. Whether it's going to be a Jinx, maybe an Ezreal, which is something he has pulled out. There are options. Hell, it's Copenhagen Wolves. They could first pick Caitlyn.
It was taken away, so again, Amazing and Diamond not going to get to play that one. We'll see what Gambit choose to go with here. But Lucian was pretty much locked in first for the Copenhagen Wolves. Options available for them. Armor ban once again from Gambit like it was before. Ryze is open and he's insta-locked.
Yeah, there's also a Yasuo available for always go with a full knock-up composition when he is looking for that particular champion. So keep it in mind, in the back of your mind. And I think Caitlyn needs to be a consideration. If you ban Lucian away, you want to deny Forgiven is next best. So Caitlyn Kha'Zix, Caitlyn Lee, something like that would be what I would do if I would Gambit shoes.
There is the Caitlyn, there is the Kha'Zix. It seems to be what Gambit want to go for. See if it works out. Remember, Xin Zhao is available. Champion Amazing could well play. That would play very well into the hands. He played it first game against Alliance yesterday.
Yeah, he did. Now, if you were unlimited, or you're on the side of the Copenhagen Wolves, I think an AD carry for major support would not be a bad idea. They could go for the jungle, but there's nothing on the side. So if they decided to go for an AD carry and a support, it allows the jungle and mid lane to counter pick whatever else comes in.
They are on A.
Maybe Jinx and Yoda. Could go Morgana. Morgana's still available if they wanted to. We'll have to see.
It's gotta be Lucian.
Vandal.
It's Forgiven. Oh, he was Vandal.
Yes. So copy. Yeah. My gut is Jinx. Xin Zhao is the next jungle that we've been seeing that has risen to the move away from the Lee Sin and the Elise, which used to be sort of the absolute top tier. But, you know, Jankos, he really showed that Elise still is a high priority pick if you can make it work, if you can gank early on.
No.
Sidrinchins out. See whether it gets locked on. Still lots of discussion, as you mentioned. Could be the support. Could go for that AD carry. Varus being considered here and has got locked in for Forgiven.
So I did not expect that coming. I think
Go Bira.
considering the CC you've got from Rise and the CC
Or no, short. Go short rush, guys.
that is
Smoke
good
at
both in
mid.
engage and in disengage situations.
We
If
salute
anybody
the day.
is too close to you, you're going to be able to knock them away. So you've already got a lot of inbuilt synergy on the side of Copenhagen Wolves. On the same token, if Caitlyn manages to blow somebody up with Ace in the hole, get a lot of damage down, you do have the opportunity for resets on the side of Diamond as well. Keep in mind that Ziggs is still available, so you could go for that Varus and Ziggs. Also doing pretty well.
Essentially considering it. Don't forget to be switching this in it.
Terrorists win.
Edward wants to go with. Pantheon has been locked in. So, let's
Pantheon
see
jungle,
where
I
this
think.
goes. Pantheon jungle, Kazakhstan.
I think it would be.
Go long.
Go rush B. Go rush B.
Alex has not been particularly impressive yesterday and today. He hasn't really been in control of his lanes or his game. And I think if he wants to go to a comfort pick, he can play
Or no,
very
go
similar
long,
to
go
Kha'Zix
long, try
against,
long.
The mage type mid lane as a counter may want to run. If counter wants to run another...
Oj, uwaga, jeden tunel, masz tunel.
But on the same token, Pantheon can also do well against mages in the mid lane. So,
Back.
I just think we're more likely Diamond in the jungle.
Limited looking to rotate over to which would be handy in this comp. Keep those death sentences, which really were the only thing starting fights off for Gambit in the previous matchup, but Lulu is going to get locked in for Kautar.
I already like what we're seeing from the Copenhagen Wolves roster. They've got a lot of CC, they've got Peel, they've got a lot of
Counter-terrorists
and
win.
defensively. The one thing
Sorry.
the Copenhagen Wolves need to be very, very careful of is giving up early advantages. Rise takes time to scale. Lulu takes time to scale. Until Lulu's got a lot
Try
of
to go
items built
Mira.
up, she's not a very big threat, and I've not been overly impressed by any of the Lulu's laning phases. Yes, they farm well and they can offer a lot with their wild growth. But if Pantheon and Kha'Zix use their early level 6 advantages to pick up kills and rotate and roam around the map, that could be Gambit's way to never allow Copenhagen Wolves to hit them. Sorry, that's the Wolves are
And the middle.
Going to be for Darian, we believe, in that top lane. Oh, hello. We'll see
Yeah, I have no idea how
what
to interpret this.
Edward goes in with. We'll see whether it gets locked in first. This could, of course, be a Kha'Zix top lane. It could be a Pantheon top lane. It could be a Kha'Zix top lane. What I'm actually thinking, I'm trying to think which would work best against the Riots. What is a in mid lane?
So both of those champions, Pantheon and Kha'Zix, can actually do well in the early stages of the game. They both got some mobility, assuming they don't get too controlled by the Rune Prism. The problem that you're going to have is that at when Gambit falls behind, all of a sudden Youngbuck is going to be able to 1v1. I do think Gambit will be looking for a lane swap. I do think that the 1v1 matchup, Rise does very well against so many melee champions. But if you combo the stun and the damage from Pantheon and Kha'Zix, you can pick up kills. So we'll see what Gambit decides to prioritize once they get in game. But another interesting unique pick that we're going to see.
Counter-terrorists win.
How this one works out. The changes have come in. It's a Pantheon top lane. That's locked in. Not quite sure what this is going to be like for Darian here.
Yeah,
He's going to be throwing the spears out, but he's going to get caught by the Q every time.
he is, and
Overload in his face.
mana restraints are going to make Darian's life quite difficult if he's spear shot. He's not. I don't think he's going to prioritize mana early on. Unless he wants to go for
Throwing a flashbang.
One down tunnel.
he's built mana for help. If Darian
One
does
long.
decide he's got some abilities to do it. He's to be able to outpoke and outtrade.
Well, it is Gambit that feel they needed to change things and change the style of play and even the meta of the game to try and take a victory here against the Copenhagen Wolves. Copenhagen Wolves going with tried and tested. Well, so far. Be a late game where Copenhagen Wolves take the game every time.
So the one thing is that, you know, Gambit do have tools around the map. They've got the Grand Skyfall from Pantheon, which is going to be very powerful. You've got the Wave Clear coming out of Alex Sich and Zig once again. So if Gambit are able to get some early kills, are able to get some early gold advantages onto their top or their mid laner, I can see this comp working in their favor. We'll need to see how it plays out, because these first 10 minutes, these first few ganks from the respective junglers are going to be so
Lots of biscuits being picked up by the Copenhagen Wolves. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2. Can the Copenhagen Wolves take it to Gambit? Can they knock them down to their first ever promotion series? They've never been in this situation before. The Copenhagen Wolves, so level 1, are going in deep on this one, and Gambit, they have not seen it.
So there is a ward in the inventory of Unlimited. There are Gambit pings on the Travis. 9.
Go B, 1B, go B, guys, go B.
And this is so scary. If somebody misses
tunnel, two tunnel.
in the third game of their series, 2 kills were secured. It is not the end of the world. Gold is significantly less. 60% standard value. So it's not game changing, but it does help.